Captain's log. It's still July 7th, 8:21 p.m. Today is a perfect fucking example of how much different. How do I want to put this? How much different my nights go. How different my nights go compared to the last 11, 12 years of my life. Since I was 19. 12 years of my life. So anyways, a late summer's day. The sun sets at what? 8:30, 9 p.m. Hold on. And what would I normally be doing right now? If the year was 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Those years, I would be consuming so many pills. And am I doing that? No. Do I want to do that? Yeah. Will I do that? No. Here's the thing. You can, be almost a year off of them, and you can be years away from how you were once consuming them. But the desire to check out can still live within you. Shitty, right? And I'll be very honest, if the world was going to end tomorrow, I would have a blast. And by having a blast, I mean I would put my headphones in, I would take I would take 3 or 4 muscle relaxers. But first I would take like half a Xanax because I would get nervous about how like the muscle relaxers would hit me. Damn, it's kind of fucked up. Well, I'm just being honest. I would take half a Xanax and I would take 3 or 4 muscle relaxers. And then once those started to kick in, maybe I would drink a beer for sure. And then I would take another half of a Xanax, and then I would probably forget that I took that and take more of something else. I never liked Norcos or Vicodin. That always made me nauseous and feel yucky. I've only taken Oxy once, and I had an ex-boyfriend tell me that was the most terrifying experience of my life. Please don't ever do that again. Something about me looked weird, which I probably just looked like, I don't know, a freak or something. I don't know what happened. Anyways, on a night like this, on a night off, even if the world wasn't ending, I would do that, and I would probably like get into some weird flow state, and I would write a bunch of ridiculous shit down that I would be embarrassed by the next morning, and I would throw it away, and I'd go, that was really nice, and now my head feels like I put it in a microwave. But me now, I don't do that, so I just like read a book outside for a while. I'm doing laundry. I took a long shower. I'm making this video, holding myself accountable. Not like I can do that anyways. When I moved into this place, I threw away all of the pills that I had left, and it was a lot. I had like this box. Actually, I'm not gonna grab it, but I had a box that was like probably that big, and it was just full of bottles and bottles and bottles and bottles of Xanax that I was prescribed. Because my doctors over the years would prescribe me too much, and I would take like as little as I could, and then I would just hoard them in fear of the day that a doctor would say, hey, I'm not giving this to you anymore. And luckily, I just got to a point where I was like, I'm so over this. I'm so over myself. I'm so over the way that this is. It felt like a weird anchor. Like I was stuck. And if I ever wanted to move out of Southern California, I couldn't because I was taking this thing. Couldn't travel for a long period of time. Not like I really can. I have all these animals. Yeah, I just felt like I was also super miserable. I just felt like I hadn't had like a good amount of change in a long time, and I felt like that would kind of open up the doors to change, and it did, you know, like I had a very serious breakup that happened after that because I came to the realization that what we were doing was just run its course. And so yeah, I got out of that fuck-ass depressing apartment. I got into the apartment that I've been wanting to get back into forever. I have a pretty good way of like coping with my anxiety. Honestly, I don't really have anxiety like I once did. Probably because I know how to take better care of myself, like feed myself, exercise, not consume too much coffee. But yeah, nights where I'm alone, nights where I was living with a significant other and they had no idea what I was doing. I'll never forget when I lived in Oregon and I got a hold of muscle relaxers again after like a year, almost 2 years of not taking them. And I did not tell my boyfriend at the time that I got my hands on them. And I took them and we were in the living room with him and all of his friends and I felt them hitting me. And I was like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. I need to get away from them because they're gonna see me switch and I can't get caught. Which is wild because to have like 2 years down of not doing that anymore and then to go like, okay, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it again. It was insane of me, but you know. So I walked outside to the backyard and I looked at the trampoline that we had and I was like, what better to do than get on the fucking trampoline right now when my body feels like I'm in a warm bath of downers. So I started jumping on the trampoline. I can still see it now when I close my eyes. I can still see like the little greenhouse that we had and the warm lights coming through the living room and how my body felt just like lifting up and down. Obviously I felt very heavy. And then I thought, uh-oh, I might have like a heart attack or something. I probably shouldn't get my heart rate going when my body is going down, 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 down. So I just laid there. I laid on the trampoline. I stared at the sky and the beautiful trees in my Portland, Oregon backyard on Alberta Street. And I thought to myself, you really fucked up. Like, are you sure that you want to do this? You sure you want to go back down this path? And yeah, I was taking them and not telling my boyfriend, and then our house got raided. And the only thing that they did not take was my fucking muscle relaxers. And so my boyfriend and I are like cleaning up the house because the house did not get raided because of us. We had roommates. And we go up to our roommate's bedroom. And my ex-boyfriend, I wonder if he still remembers this, probably not. And we go up to, our roommate's bedroom, and he sees the muscle relaxers, and he goes, and I go, I'm so sorry. And he goes, never again. And he flushed them down the toilet. And I was just like, oh, fuck, okay. I haven't taken them since then. That was 2019. He flushed them down the toilet. But I remember on Valentine's Day of February 2016, this guy took me out on like a Valentine's dinner date, and we were in Malibu. He lived in Venice. I don't know. There's so many like weird, random, like, I've never lived in Venice, but there's so many random like little chapters I have in Venice. So he takes me out to dinner, and he's like, I think we should be together. And I was like, really? I don't know about that. I think you're just grasping for straws. And he goes, no, we're gonna be in a relationship, and I'm gonna get you off of these pills. And I immediately in my head was like, then I'm never hanging out with you ever again. The fuck are you talking about? You're gonna make me stop doing that? No way. Like, I'm just getting started. Madness. Yeah. So, yeah, haven't taken muscle relaxers in 7 years. Wow, really? 7 years? 2019? 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Shit. What if I could? But I can't. And why can't I? Because I enjoy waking up in the morning. I enjoy things not hurting, and it made me so depressed. I don't fucking know. I don't know. Like, what's the point of it's so... I have so many thoughts. Like, my mind is just running all the time. And if I take something for all of the running, it just makes me really low. So I just rock with it, you know? In 4 days, I will be 10 months off of Xanax. That's the longest I've ever been off of it since I was 19, so in 12 years. Which is crazy. I never thought I would get there. I was so bad to the point that I was like, I'll never be able to have kids because I'm not giving that up just to be pregnant. Fuck that. And, you know, obviously the times that I did get pregnant, or how do I want to put this? The one time I got pregnant and wanted to keep that child, I did not take it for 3 days. And when I started bleeding out of control, I was like, well, I guess I'm going to be able to take the Xanax again. Yeah. I was like, wait, this is weird, I'm bleeding. I was like, wait, I'm bleeding a lot. And then I bled for like a month and a half straight, and I was like, oh, cool. Cool. That was really fun. I just started a new job, and I was in the ER, and I was like, damn, I don't think I'm gonna be able to go to work tomorrow. And I texted my super religious establishment boss, and I was like, hey, TMI, having miscarriage. And he's like, oh, okay, whatever you need. Out of wedlock. Whatever. Fucking whatever. Tonight is a hard night. But obviously, like, I'm not gonna go out of my way. Like, I would never... Okay, first of all, I have no one to hit up to try to get pills, so couldn't even do that if I tried. Second of all, I would only go through a doctor because I am so paranoid and I don't trust anything from anyone other than a pharmacy. Here's an example of how my mind runs so rampant. Driving to work, for example. I never remember my drive to work because I am thinking so quickly and chewing like this. Chewing. Maybe you can't tell. On my mouth. And I go, okay, let me try to think of something and let's see how, like, honest I can be. Okay, no, let's do it while I'm at work. Because it's... Where my mind goes when I'm at work is, especially when it's slow, is fucking insane. Okay, I need to go talk to that table, but I want to drink a cup of water. But I also need to pee. Why do I need to pee, but I'm also thirsty? If I go pee right now, maybe I should go look at the sunset. Maybe I'll wait. Maybe, no, I'll go talk to them. Okay, I'm talking to them. Okay, I get their drinks. Okay, I'm running out. Okay. All right, I'm going to walk upstairs. I'm going to look at the sunset. I look at the sunset, then I look at the trees, then I look at that one palm tree, then I look at the houses, then I go look at, like, towards Newport, and then I go look at the pink flowers, and then I go, memory, this person, that thing. Oh, wow, okay, my heart's racing. All right, well, maybe if I walk down the stairs, I'll feel better. Maybe if I check my phone, I'll feel better. No, I don't feel better. Maybe I should stop looking at my phone. I really don't want to keep looking at my phone, but I have to look at my phone. I'm going to reply to these texts. Oh my God, someone's mad at me because I didn't reply to this phone call because my phone's on Do Not Disturb. Maybe I should stop doing Do Not Disturb. No, I need to have Do Not Disturb because it stresses me out when people call me. Oh my God, and then when I had this one conversation with that one person, they FaceTime me, and that really bothered me. It's, like, weird because they can't really pay attention in conversation, but I can pay attention in conversation even though I'm overthinking every little thing at once. And then, oh, actually, this part of the staircase reminds me of this time back in fucking 2021, and remember when you used to walk into that bathroom and you had a key to that bathroom, but now you don't have a key to it because the people that were upstairs complained that the restaurant had access to the bathrooms upstairs. But I remember how that bathroom used to be my safe space. And remember when that one person texted you while you were in that bathroom, and that was such a meaningful text. That was so important. No one's texted you like that in 6 years. Do you ever think you're going to feel like that? Well, maybe because you're avoidant. Well, if you weren't avoidant, what do you think you would lean into? Because... And then I pause for 5 seconds and I go, okay, hold on. And then I go, if you really think about it, one of the most beautiful experiences you could ever have is just, like, deeply, passionately, truthfully falling in love with someone. Have you ever looked into somebody's eyes? Well, when's the last time you really looked into somebody's eyes and you felt like you could see them? Because it's been a long time since you felt like you really see somebody. Remember that one guy you went on a date with and then you looked into his eyes and you were like, whoa, that's kind of like... I don't even know what I can read. And then you hung out with that other guy and you looked into his eyes and you were like, I don't even see the same person that I was talking to. This is really confusing. And remember when you had a conversation with so-and-so? Well, I think they're lazy because they don't want to... I'm not going to say what I was going to say there. I think they're lazy because they won't get out of a certain situation that I think they could do better for. But I guess they'll never change. But I really miss them. I wish I could sit on the porch sitting with them. I'm never going to do that again because that's not my path. And if I did do that, that means I'm stuck in the past. And if I don't do that, that means I'm one step closer to things changing. And I should probably eat healthier. I feel like the sodium in my body is, like, really starting to fuck with me. And I did used to drink 2 IPAs every night, but now I don't do that. Now I drink 1 light beer every night. And you've really come so far, but wouldn't it be so great if you could just, like, go back in time and kind of feel how it felt back then when you really, like, leaned into being a fucking addict? So... exhausted by myself, and that wasn't even, like, a good representation of it. Sometimes I get too aware of my blinking, and that freaks me out. I get too aware of my breathing, and that freaks me out. And then I meet some people, and they're like, wow, you're so calm. And I go, it's just all in here. Well, I will not be doing drugs tonight. I totally forgot to set a timer on the laundry I have in the dryer. So I'm going to check on that. And I'm going to eat food. And I'm going to drink 1 beer. That is all I can have. I remember meeting someone and they were like, yeah, my brother used to be a terrible addict. And him and his doctor came to an agreement that he could be supplied 3 pills a day to curb his addiction because he could never fully be sober. And I was like, I want that, but I understand that sometimes my gifts, my rewards for my work aren't immediate. It's what is it? Let me look this up. Please hold. Trade-offs have a way of making themselves apparent at a glacial pace. Saturn ruled. Aquarius rising. Saturn in the 2nd house. CoStar's so stupid, but I've been, because I have nobody that I'm texting and no fucking surface level social media. I read CoStar. I'm bored and I'm like curious what it has to say. If you'd perfected it all already, the rest of your life would be pretty boring. I am bored. Your flaws aren't failures. They're the rough edges that make you interesting. The stumbles teach you more than easy victories ever could. Stop rushing towards some finished version of yourself. The journey is the whole damn point. I'm aware. This one was funny, though. Remember when you thought being alone meant freedom? Now you're realizing freedom meant having no one to split the rent with. Trade-offs have a way of making themselves apparent at a glacial pace. Yeah. All right. To everyone I've ever loved and will love in the future. Was this concerning? I'm sorry. I'm fine. I'm fine.